Good morning, and welcome. Welcome. Take about 15 to 20 seconds, tag your friends, your business partners, and other entrepreneurs and tell them that Catalyst 360 has gone live. They do not want to miss this information. Hallelujah. They do not want to miss this information. So go ahead, take about 10, 15 seconds, tag your business partners, tag other leaders, tag other entrepreneurs, tell them to hop on so they can gain this valuable information. Again, hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Darius Jeter, along with Dr. Gina Crawford, both of Catalyst 360. I know that so many people have new business ideas, especially starting this new year off. You have a new business idea, a new venture, a new endeavor, or something that you wanna embark upon, but you kind of feel stuck. You don't know what to do because so many people feel like they just don't know where to begin. And because so many people don't know where to begin or what to do, what end up happening? They eventually do nothing. They don't do anything. And so your vision, your business, your idea, your nonprofit, all those ventures that you have, they begin to die inside of you. They die on the vine and they never become a reality. So our hope with Catalyst 360 and today and with this live is to help you get focused on pursuing your dreams, starting your business, overcoming some of the obstacles that are standing in your way, that'll give you the necessary insight to transform your idea into an actionable plan. So again, take a second, tag somebody who you know is desiring to start their business, desiring to start their organization. Tell them to get on and get this valuable information. Because see, the road to success, what is it? Many people always say the road to success is paved and filled with obstacles. Whether it's clarifying your mission, trying to refine your business model, trying to secure resources, trying to figure out how to get new clients, new customers, or simply just trying to get a clear vision of the next steps that you need to do to get started. So whether you're launching a new business, whether you're growing a ministry, whether you're expanding a nonprofit, these hurdles can leave you feeling stuck and unsure of how you need to move forward. So we recently took a poll and we asked people who are trying to start a business, those who are in business, those who are desiring to start a new organization, what are some of the key issues that you need more information about? And we want to discuss some of those things today. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Gina Crawford.
Hey, everybody. Good morning again, and welcome to Catalyst 360. We are glad that you are joining us. Thank you for those who have supported us from our launch up until our live last week and up until now. And so, as Dr. Jeter mentioned, Catalyst is here for you. Catalyst is here for you. So, what we do is based off of what you need. And so, we took a poll, and here are some of the results of this poll. So again, these are not things that we made up. These are not numbers that we made up. These are numbers that came from you, the entrepreneurs, that came from you, the ministry leaders. These are numbers that came from you, the business leaders. And so it is our goal to tap into each topic that was expressed, each topic, each concern that you had. So we're going to take a look at some of these topics from the greatest concern to the least concern, which may not be a least concern. It may just be been a temporary least concern. So it is our job to kind of talk about the ebbs and flows of all of these things, business wise, ministry in the marketplace. So let's take a look.
Put them on screen. See if I can get it on screen for you all.
Oh, technology is good when it works.
Yes, it is. And it worked a few moments ago.
It did, y'all. Really, it did.
But not now.
And guess what? If it doesn't,
Here we
y'all,
go.
I'm still paper pencil. There it is. All right, here we go. So let's take a look. So these are the things from the greatest concerns that you have in business down to the least concern, with the ones that are just not too bad. So from those who answered our poll, let's take a look. So this year, our goal is to talk about each one of these topics geared toward your concerns, to talk about the ins and outs, to talk about in detail each and every topic. Again, we want to make sure that all of our information and everything that we do is tailor-made just for you. And so leading the list, the most concern in terms of business and ministry in the marketplace is business finances and budgeting. Business finances and budgeting. In other words, how do I steward this money? How do I even get money to start? So we all know that it takes money, as they say, it takes money to make money. And so this is one of the main concerns in terms of what you thought was something that needed to be shared and some more information needed on how to even finance what you do, how to even get the startup money. Where do I go to get loans and things of that nature? So 66% of you, out of those who were polled, 66% of you have concerns about finances. 66% of you have concerns about not only where do I get the money, but when I get the money, how do I manage it? How do I prioritize what I do? How do I budget it? Next in line at 42%, leadership and leadership development. Now that I have the money, now that I can really start this business, now I can get all the things that I need. How do I do this? How do I lead these people? How do I lead the people? How do I develop leaders? And so here it is. Second on the list, you have those who are interested in leadership development. How do I develop as a leader? It's interesting because Dr. Gita and I were laughing because we're both pretty much introverts. And so as introverts, it's like, well, how do you lead people if nobody wants to talk to anybody? So we're diving into those different areas. The third thing on our list, at 36%, 36% of you, and pay attention to the numbers, 36% of you are concerned about organization and structure. So we're talking about going from finances to developing ourselves as leaders, and now into how do I organize these leaders? How do I organize what I'm doing? At 33%, which is very close, strategic planning. Strategic planning, strategic planning, strategic planning. How do I do this? What is the map? What is the roadmap? Where do I get the roadmap from? I'm glad you asked. You get the roadmap from Catalyst 360. Coming in at 24%, social media, imaging, and branding. We all know that, I know everybody's waiting on this decision about TikTok. But we know that social media, especially for the times that we're living in, is very important. Social media, your image, your branding. How do I get myself out there? How do I get seen? How do I get heard? How do I build followers? How do I build up my business? My image. What do I do? Do I look like somebody else? How do I brand? How do I push what I have? Then came 20%, practical business issues and situations. Business brings on conflict. Business brings on conflict. And so how to manage those pieces, how to practically handle business, how to practically handle those conflicts, how to practically handle those situations that come up. In our minds, when we start with business, we have these grand ideas. We have the right people in place in our mind. We think that everything is just going to flow. And as Dr. Jeter says, there's some bumps that are going to happen in the road. How do I handle that? How do I handle that without being a people pleaser? How do I handle that without compromising my business? And so 20% of you want to know, how do I handle the conflict? Conflict will happen. Conflict is inevitable. How do I not let these things stress me out so much so that I want to tell everybody where to go and how to get there? That's not a good practice in business. 17%, management. Management. How do I handle the day-to-day logistics? Who do I put in place to help me? Have you ever been to a business? And Dr. Jenna, feel free to chime in. Have you ever been to a business and the customer service was horrible? Absolutely horrible. And so when you ask to speak to the manager, you find out that the person who was horrible to you is the manager. So we're talking about, what does that look like? What does that look like, which goes along with your image and your branding? So what does management look like? What do the day-to-day logistics look like? Who do I put in the front? Who do I get to answer? Who do I help have in place to make sure that things are running as properly as they can? Which led into effective communication, which landed at 16%. 16% of you said, I need to know how to communicate. I want to know how to better communicate with people. I want to better know how to effectively say what I need to say, and do what I need to do. There's a lot of business lingo out there. There's the right way to email. There's the right way to have a conversation. There's the right way to network. There's the right things to say when you're in terms of marketing. And so all of these things we're going to tap into this year. 12%, living life under the microscope. So understand this. Anytime you decide to go public with anything, your life is under a microscope. How do I balance that? How do I handle that? We've all seen it where you've had people who are public figures and they have moments where they're flawed. They have moments where their flaws are caught on camera. They have moments where they've gone viral saying something that may have been inappropriate, or sharing something that was not necessarily meant to be shared. And so now you have to understand, when you put yourself out there, when your name is put out there, when your business is put out there, 12% of you said, how do I handle that? How do I balance life? I can't hear you.
I said, even when things are taken out of context.
Yes, yes. And so, for those of you who may not know, both of us are ministers and leaders in ministry. I can't tell you how many times, and we've both seen it. Just a 5-second clip can literally ruin somebody's business. Just a 10-second clip can literally ruin somebody's reputation. So living life under the microscope.
Yeah, because that goes back to effective communication. Because what you say is not necessarily what a person hears. I know what I'm saying, but are you receiving what I'm saying? So it goes back to effective communication. That's key and important. Learning how to message what you're saying correctly so that everybody can understand exactly what it is you're trying to convey.
Would you agree, especially in the social media age?
Yes. And the text age, digital age, all of these things, because you got to understand that when you type something out, tone of voice, sarcasm, humor, that stuff does not translate.
Right.
So it's very important to understand how you're putting things out, that especially when you put stuff out on social media with people who don't even know you, they don't know your sense of humor, your personality, so they can take things the wrong way and it becomes an issue of something that you never intended for it to be. So that comes with effective communication and learning how to live your life under the microscope. Some things that I may say, I may not be able to say it in this space because it's not going to be received because the people don't know me.
And have you noticed that, especially when things, more so when people say something that they take and use it as a negative connotation, have you noticed that those things we share more than the positive things?
Yes, we love drama. That's why they base TV shows around it, movies around it. We love drama. Even when we're retelling a story, we tend to add more drama to it. Why? Because that's what makes it more interesting.
Even in business, there's drama. Even in business, even in business, and there are those pieces where even in the boardroom, physically in the boardroom, you have people who come with their own personal agendas.
Yes.
So
learn how to navigate those spaces.
Yes. So even living life under the microscope, even talking about in terms of how to manage your personal life, in terms of your family life. Sometimes when we start a business, it's where we're putting all of our attention into the business. We're putting all of our attention into the ministry because we want things to grow. We want things to get better. And sometimes, people may forfeit their family time. So both of us, we're both in that space. We both have families. We both have children. And so, we both have spouses. And so it's literally finding the balance, business and balance. Oh, that might be a good topic there. Yeah. Business and balance. Business and balance. At 9%, marketing. Dr. Jeter, I was surprised that marketing landed so low.
Me too, especially since that is kind of key to getting your service or product known, your business known. Marketing is one of the cornerstones of building a successful business. I'm definitely surprised to see it so low.
Yeah, that was one of my. I was like that was one of the shockers for me. I was like, marketing. I really thought marketing would have kind of been up there with social media and imaging and branding, kind of up in that level of percentage. But yeah, I was really surprised that marketing landed so low. So, do you think it's and now that I'm thinking, do you think this may be a generational thing?
Uh, I don't know about generational. I think we all tend to have a mentality of if I build it, they will come. If I just start my
Mm,
business, if I just put my service out there, people are gonna automatically flock to it. And that's not the case. And that's where we come in to kind of show you, hey, you can't just say I got a business and think everybody's gonna come to it. Because we think if I just say I got it, people are gonna automatically buy it. No, we have to change our mentality, especially when it comes to selling something, selling a service or selling a product. People don't want to be sold anything. People want to buy something,
mm-hmm.
and they buy based upon what they want and what they need. So we have to understand that marketing is not about trying to sell somebody something. It's about trying to show them how what you have fills the gap of what they need. This is where we come in at to kind of, because when we're up so close to something, especially our new business, our product, or whatever it is, it's our baby. We think everybody's supposed to love it, but you need
Yes.
somebody to come alongside you with a different perspective to say, hey, I know that's your baby, and you love it, but let me show you how you need to get your baby to walk so your baby can run.
Mm.
So that's where we come in at to kind of help show you these things to help guide you along the way, so that you can get your business out in front of people so that they can see the true value of the baby of your business that you have to
Mm-hmm.
offer.
Because when you think about babies, everybody thinks their baby is cute.
Yep. We
Everybody
do.
thinks that their baby is the cutest baby that has ever been born.
Yep.
And so, like you said, we just automatically assume that everybody's going to think that my baby is the cutest baby that's ever been born.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so I don't know if you've experienced this just in business and in ministry as well. But when those moments of excitement where we're thinking that people are coming and the door is open and they're just going to pack the place and they're going to flood it, and it doesn't happen.
Yep.
Those moments of discouragement may set in, and so we both have experienced those moments. So what you are sharing with us through this poll is not these are not things that we have not experienced ourselves.
Right.
And so that is one thing I want to make sure that we always drive home with you all. Catalyst 360 is very relational. We're very relational and we're very relatable. And so, all of these things we have gone through ourselves. And so, sometimes discouragement will set in simply because you're thinking, man, I had this good idea and it didn't work and I just knew it was going to work. Don't throw in the towel yet. Don't throw in the towel yet. Even if you've been in business 15, 10, 5 years, and you say, well, what I once had was working, sometimes you have to, this word has been out there as a buzzword lately. Sometimes you have to pivot. Sometimes you have to pivot. Sometimes you have to shift. We both have learned, I think I can say that shifting is not a bad thing.
Right.
Pivoting is not a bad thing.
Right.
It doesn't mean that you have failed. It just means that it just means that you have learned more.
And the business that is afraid to pivot, the business that is afraid to make that shift, is the business that will find itself out of business. I think most of us can remember in the early 2000s, those of us who are old enough to remember in the early 2000s, we can remember the BlackBerry very well. BlackBerry was
Yes.
very
I
popular.
loved my
I
BlackBerry.
did too. And BlackBerry had the idea of the App Store and all the apps and all of those different things, but they failed to pivot, and the iPhone came and blew them out of the
Out of the
water.
water. Yeah.
There is no longer a BlackBerry, but iPhone and the Samsung, they're all over the place. You
Mm-hmm.
have to be willing to pivot and shift, because again, people don't want to be sold anything. They want to buy what they want to buy, and they want to buy the thing they need. They want you to fill the gap of what they need. And so often we think, I want you to buy my baby. I want you to buy my product. No, I don't need that, or I don't want that. So the purpose of business is not just to sell what you want, it's to provide a service or a product to fill the gap of what people need and what
Yes.
people want. And I think we fail to see that sometimes. So that's why I think marketing kind of fell so low on the poll, because people think if I just put my thing out there, people are gonna automatically
They're
flock
gonna
to it.
buy
But
it.
that is not the case. And sometimes you need somebody with a different, like Dr. Crawford said, if you've been in business for a while and you think it's not working the way it used to, sometimes don't throw it away. Sometimes you just need somebody to come in with a different perspective to show you
Mm-hmm.
how to shift. And that's where we come in to show you how to shift. Because everybody thinks their baby is the cutest baby, but sometimes,
Yes.
we need a reality check sometimes. Hey, that may not
And
be the right little dress. That may not be the right hairstyle for that baby. We all need to be told that sometimes.
And I don't know about you. Sometimes when you look at people's babies and you kind of don't know what to say, oh, look at the fingers. Oh,
Yeah,
look at it has 10 toes.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
So again, it doesn't mean that you are a failure. So, sometimes we will get that etched in our minds that, oh, if it doesn't go the way that I planned it initially, then I am a failure. It has not failed. It just needs to be adjusted. It just needs to be adjusted, which means, again, as Dr. Jeter said, we have to be willing to make the adjustments. Make the adjustments. Um, Under marketing came security, which again, I am surprised that landed at 8% security. And so I was looking at a clip from some clip last night, and to just kind of tell you how we have to shift our thinking and have to shift our mindset. I forgot the FBI has put out a warning where if you're sending a text message from Android to Android, that it is encrypted and it's pretty much safe. If you're sending a message from iPhone to iPhone, it's pretty much safe. If you're sending a message from iPhone to Android or Android to iPhone, you have potential scammers who can intercept your messages. And so we're talking about security. That is something, especially for the times that we're living in terms of cyber attacks and things of that nature. These are things that we have to become more aware of. If you have a brick and mortar, you have to know how to invest in the necessary security. Even down to if you have conferences or gatherings, security should be one of the top issues at the forefront of your mind.
And I want to kind of piggyback on that because of something that recently kind of happened to me where I was able to discern what it was. But here's the thing: it comes on so subtle that we don't
Yes.
realize it. Somebody reached out to me on LinkedIn because of an article I wrote. Hey, I really enjoyed the insights you placed in your article. Can you send me your business email address so we can stay in contact? It just didn't sit right with me. Why
Mm-hmm.
why would you specifically request my business email address? And so I replied and said, well, I don't usually give out my information to people I don't know. I can give you something else. No, and I was just gonna give them a generic Yahoo or generic
Right.
Gmail account that I create, just that I specifically send junk to. But
That's a
they
good
said
idea.
no. They said no. I tend to just do business email addresses because I get so much spam in my business email address. So when I requested this, I no longer heard anything from them. So
Right.
I researched the scam, and what people will do is they'll get your business email address, they'll clone it, and they'll start sending out your business email address to people, and try to run scams to get money from them. So
Mm-hmm.
when you start talking about security in this digital age, we have to be very discerning of how things are playing out. It can be just something just as subtle as getting your email address or getting
Yes.
your WhatsApp because they initially requested WhatsApp. My WhatsApp. I don't really use WhatsApp, but I realized with WhatsApp you have to use your actual cell phone number. I don't want to give out my personal cell phone number to
Mm-hmm.
somebody I don't know. So we have to be very mindful of the different tactics and scams that people are trying to run that can really be a hindrance to the growth of your business, the success of your business. Because if you lose the credibility of your business based on a scam that somebody else is running, that's kind of hard to get back from the public, especially as a new and a small business.
Right. So this is something that we really need to, make sure that everybody is aware of and tap into. And again, I know the excitement is there and you're thinking about the product and you're thinking about your service. But those products and services need to at some point to be make sure that they are secure. They are secure. So even if you're talking about in-person gatherings, those are things that need to be considered. How do I make sure that people are safe and things that I'm hosting and activities that I'm hosting? And so a lot of times going back up to the top, it takes finances. It takes finances. And so again, these are just things that practical things that all business leaders and ministry leaders, and even now, Dr. Judah, I don't know if when I'm sure we both are aware that even now when you're talking about churches have to make sure that they have security now.
Yes, yes. We all have to be mindful of the climate and the atmosphere and the times that we're in, and you have to make sure you're taking the precaution to make sure that your business is safe. That not only the infrastructure of your business, but the people
Hmm.
who are associated with your business, the employees and the customer base. We want to make sure that you have their security in mind as well, whether it's through fraud or whether it's just their physical safety. If you have a brick and mortar location for them to come to, and that's where risk management comes in. That
Yes.
having that perspective of looking at all possible scenarios, saying what's the worst case scenario, and trying to develop a contingency to deal with it. And sometimes we don't take those things into consideration. But as a ministry leader, husband, or father, I instantly look at situations and always play out the risk. What would I do if this happened? You have to let your mind go to those places
Hmm.
so that if by chance those things happen, you aren't just frozen. You have a plan of action of how you're going to respond. Because you have to have the worst thing that can happen is for something to happen, and as that business leader, you're frozen with no response because
Yes.
people are looking to you for leadership now. They're looking to you for guidance now, and that lack of response shows a lack of preparation, and it loses trust instantly. It loses trust instantly.
So I thought this was something that, now knowing these things, I would be interested in resubmitting or resharing this poll just to kind of, get people's stance on after hearing us share what we've shared, just to kind of see if the numbers would change. So maybe we have to
Yeah,
put it back out there.
yeah, and
Um,
I still do expect business, finance, and budgeting to be at the top.
mhm.
I do, uh, because here's the thing. Um, we've all gone through school. We learned to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. We learned our arithmetic. But the thing about it is, we still never, from an educational standpoint, learn how to manage money.
Right.
That
Yeah.
extrapolation of adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing, it never translates into us showing us how to actually manage money. And because of that, all of us, for the most part, unless we have a mindset shift or go through some kind of training where we can get to see it, we don't really understand how we're supposed to manage money,
Hmm.
especially in a business context. And we'll begin to manage our business money the way we manage our
Our
household money,
personal money.
and it doesn't flow that way. And so that's where we can kind of hold your hand at and kind of give you some guidance and how to do that business financing, and understanding that we have leadership and leadership development and management on the list, and some people may have thought they're kind of one and the same. Well, leadership and management are actually two very different things
Different.
that people think are the same
Yes.
thing. A leader and a manager are not the same thing, and their roles are not the same roles,
Right.
and that is key to know. Sometimes you need to be a leader, but sometimes you have to be a manager, and it's you have to know the difference between the two to discern when you need to be what at what time. Those things are key. We talk a lot about developing the idea from idea to execution. Well, that's strategic planning, and
Hmm.
sometimes we don't know how to go from A to B to C to D, and you need somebody to kind of help from a different perspective to open your mindset up to see something different with the strategic planning. So all these things are valuable, but I think sometimes we don't know what we don't know, so we put them out. We kind of misalign them in the area of importance that they need to be.
Right. And then oftentimes I think too, especially when you're talking about consulting, sometimes consulting has a negative connotation where you're trying to come in and take over.
Yeah, and that's not what it is. Consulting is simply it's a different perspective, a different point of view. If I'm stuck in something, that means I've exhausted my area of expertise. I don't know, and
Hmm.
it doesn't mean that the consultant is smarter than you. It simply means that I'm too close to this thing. I can no longer
Right.
take an objective view. I need somebody who does not have an emotional and a personal attachment to come in and give me some advice and some guidance and maybe some practical wisdom that can kind of disrupt my way of thinking to help me get over this hump, to get over this dry spell, to show me something different so that I can continue to progress towards my goal. Because the consultant's goal and job is to help you reach your goal, not to give
Hmm.
you a different goal. It's just to show you a different route to accomplish your goal.
And all of this
That
is all of it works together. So there's, even though we have different topics and different categories, understand that all of it is connected. All of them are connected. Um, the security piece led into I was thinking, looking at the security piece at 8%, it dropped drastically when it came to networking, and relationship building came in at only 1%.
that's surprising too, because you have to network and you have to build relationships in order to be successful. Uh, so often, especially in business, we have this mindset that somebody's going to steal my idea, they're going to steal
Mhm.
my customer, they're
Mhm.
going to steal my client.
Mhm.
No, is that is not all. That is a very small, minute percentage. Networking and relationship building is how you work with somebody else, and they are able to help you open your product or service up to a whole new market that you probably never would have been able to break into. I tell this story sometimes about the relationship between Starbucks and Spotify. Well, anybody who goes into Starbucks, you hear the music playing, and you kind of may not pay it attention if you're not, really thinking about it. But because of a relationship between the executives at Starbucks and the relationship they have with the executives at Spotify, they merge together. Now people are able to listen to that music in Starbucks, and they're able to find that music on Spotify. This opened Starbucks up to a whole new market of people they never would have reached with Spotify,
Mhm.
and it opened Spotify up to a whole new market of people they never would have reached without Starbucks. Those type of collaborations only come through networking and relationship building. Who knows where you can take your service or product to? Who it can be introduced to in a non-traditional, unlikely way,
Right.
because you established a relationship with somebody who operated in a totally different industry than you did. So we can't discount that.
And relationships can be scary.
Yes.
Relationships can be scary, especially when you're talking about ideas and you're talking about business. And oftentimes, what I'm finding too is, because you may have the same idea or same business as, or be in the same business categorically as somebody else, sometimes there's that sense of competition, or there's that sense of inferiority. And literally, we're here to dispel all of that. I can't tell you how many consulting firms are out there.
Yes.
And so,
Yes.
even for us to say, "Hey, this is something that we are able to tap into, because it's something that, the gift that we have both been endowed with." We could have very well saying, "Well, no, it looks like somebody else already has those ideas." But there's literally something out there for everybody, and everybody's not for everybody.
Right.
And so the business that you have, the idea that you have, whatever it is, the ministry that you have been assigned to, it is for somebody. And so, to not get caught up in the "I don't want to work with people, I don't like people," type of mentality. And I'm telling you this because it's from personal experience. And so, it's really even having to open yourself up to just being able to engage with other people,
Right. And
even if it's just to go and listen to what they have to say, or to go and you and I have this conversation, putting yourself in places where you get to learn, you get to meet
right.
new people, and literally, as you're making connections, some other things, in your business that you need, they may very well be the people to help you.
Right. And I think what happens many times is we look at networking as trying to sell somebody something. Like we're trying to
Yes.
sell ourselves to somebody, and we got to lose that perspective of it. Networking is you're going to make genuine connections and genuine relationships. I'm going to make a friend of somebody I don't know, and that relationship can lead to business opportunities. So we have to change our perspective and mindset
Mm-hmm.
about what relationship building and networking is. It's not going to try to sell and pitch yourself and pitch your business. It's going to build a genuine connection, because guess what? If I don't like you genuinely and personally, I'm not going to do business with you.
Exactly.
So go with the mindset of trying to make a genuine connection with someone.
Right.
And it may not be an instant business relationship, but down the
Hmm.
road it could become something. And they may know somebody else that they can pitch
Yes,
your
I was
way.
gonna say that. They may be able to put you in connection with another person.
Right, right. And competition is not all bad. Competition helps you to continue to thrive and grow.
Hmm.
It helps you to think outside the box. Why? Because you're trying to beat your competitor. It helps you look at your competitor and see what they're doing and see how you can tweak it so that you can do it better. It's not always a bad thing. So you don't have to hate the competitor. Let your competitor help motivate you. Let it be a healthy rivalry instead of a angry one.
Yeah, an angry one, a bitter one. Always, I have to always one up you in a negative way.
Right, right.
So yeah. So again, this is why we're here. We're here to help. We're here to genuinely help you to again get your idea, get you from idea to execution. We're moving beyond basic. We're moving beyond basic. The last two really surprised me. The last two, developing SMART goals and building a nonprofit organization, both came in at 0%.
Yeah, that is surprising, especially because so many people have ideas and want to start organizations to help other people. So that was very surprising. And understand the significance of establishing SMART goals so that you can grow your organization business.
Mm-hmm.
That is very key, especially when it comes to strategic planning.
Yes. So there you have it, folks. So those we asked, you answered, and again, we appreciate for those. We appreciate those who participated in our poll. This poll took place a couple of months ago, and so it helped us to to build and to gather the bricks needed to build Catalyst 360. And so we're excited. We hope that you are excited. We know there's so many consulting firms that you can connect with, that you can go to. And again, we're not saying that 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 we just have it all down pat, but we're here to help. We are here to help. And so as you can see, Catalyst 360 is needed. Some of you even looking today, this may be your first time kind of think about some of the things, some of the topics that you've seen, like, oh, I didn't realize I needed that. Oh, I never considered things that way. So this is what we do. We help you move beyond basic.
And I want to give you the tough love part here too as well, because we all need to have this part. Listen, there are people who are serious about business, and then there are those who are not.
Mm-hmm.
We are not for the unserious. We are for the serious people who are willing to make the investment in making their business, their organization become a reality, become the reflection of what's burning inside of them. We are working with the people who have this thing inside of them that's saying that if I leave this earth without producing this thing, then I have not lived my purpose. That is who we're seeking to work with. We're not looking for the hobbyists. We're looking for the people who are
Mm-hmm.
going to be serious about investing in bringing to fruition a successful organization or business. And it's no knock on the hobbyists.
Right.
It's no knock on the hobbyists. But you have to be willing to do the work. Because again, when you bring us on board, we're not going to sugarcoat what you need to do. We're not going to sugarcoat our perspective. We're going to tell you the truth, because it's only by giving you the truth and giving you the hard truth that you're able to make the adjustments needed to bring the goals and the vision that you have
Mm-hmm.
for your business into a reality. Not the goal that we have for your business, but the goals that you have for your business or organization into a reality. So we got to have that reality check, and we got to have that tough love conversation so that we can all accomplish the goal that we have and the desires that we have to be a success on both sides. So
So
again, we thank
again,
you all for joining us.
yes, thank you for joining us. If you want to reach out to us, you can reach out by emailing us at catalystpurpose@gmail.com. Catalystpurpose@gmail.com.
It's in the
Do
chat.
not hesitate to reach out to us. Do not hesitate. You could also reach out to Dr. Jeter to tell them how they can reach out to you personally as well.
You can go to my website at dariusjeter.com. There's a section specifically on there for Catalyst. It has a bunch of information. You can reach out to me there. I'll put my website in the chat as well. And you tell them how they reach you, Dr.
So
Terry.
you guys can reach me. You can go to Linktree. You can go to Linktree /LSC Ministries. There's a link for Catalyst Consulting on there as well. Do not hesitate to reach out to us. Do not hesitate. Do not hesitate. Don't even think, well, my business is too small, or I don't understand what I'm doing, so I'm just going to kind of let it lie dormant. Again, we have heard that even, I think it was what, last week or today, within the past 2 weeks, there are people who have already quit. It was National Quitters Day. It was National Quitters Day. So do not let that be you. This does not have to be you. This does not have to be you. And so we want you to, we want to make sure that you're excited, because we're excited. We're excited about what you're doing. We understand that we may not be for everybody, but we are for somebody.
Yes.
So we are grateful. You can reach me at Linktree LSC Ministries. There's a link on there for Catalyst. And so, again, we're excited. I'm excited. We put a lot of work into this. So we want you to understand this is not just a fly-by-night thing. This is literally what we do. And so we have the background, we have the knowledge. We're not okay. So let me help people with this. We didn't just one day decide to put doctor in front of our names. We have the credentials to back it up. And so, again, this is not something that we have not experienced ourselves. So all of the things that are on the list, we have experienced ourselves personally. So you get that personal touch from the two of us. And so we are grateful. And again, we want to say thank you. Thank you for those who supported. Thank you for those who say, well, I don't necessarily have a business idea, but I can share your information. And so we are grateful for even you sharing, even you liking, or you even kind of mentioning, hey, I know somebody who may need you. So even in that capacity, we want to say thank you.
Thank you so much. You all have a great day. Thank you for joining us. Share this video with somebody. Share Catalyst with somebody so that they can get their business off the ground, get their organization off the ground, and get a firm footing on bringing their vision into a reality. We
Yes.
thank you all. You all be blessed, and we will see you next time. Stay tuned for important information that we're going to be putting out about Catalyst. Stay tuned, because we're going to give you all content, great content to help you, to give you wisdom, instruction, and guidance, and also to give you opportunities to connect with us. So you all stay tuned. But again, we thank you all. You all be blessed. Have a great day.
See ya.